The Constitution of Kenya 2010 is now celebrating 15 years since the promulgation. Following this promulgation, the citizens of Kenya anticipated a situation where their human rights will be respected, there will be equality, equity in all sectors of the Kenyan economy. 15 years down the line, there are still a few gains here and there, as well as challenges. Key pieces of legislation have been passed across board, and just to pick on those targeting marginalized persons, we recognize the Children's Act of 2022, which recognized the intersex children in the Republic of Kenya. Equally important too, the intersex persons during the 2019 census were enumerated to give us a population of 1,544. In this regard, therefore, we can say that one of the pending bills that needs serious attention by the parliamentarians is the proposed Intersex Persons Bill of 2024. Equally important, on the realization of economic, social, and cultural rights, the Commission asks Parliament to enact into law the economic, social, cultural bill to ensure that we are able to measure the progressive achievements of the economic, social, and cultural rights. Health is a devolved function, and we acknowledge as a commission the role the county governments are playing, the efforts that have been made by the county governments to provide healthcare services at the county level. However, a number of challenges have been noted. One, the employment of qualified medical personnel has faced a number of challenges. In a number of counties, getting the right personnel is quite a challenge. Then secondly, in terms of the remuneration and payment of the salaries of the medical care staff has caused a number of issues that needs to be addressed. Number one, for example, the remuneration challenges causing a number of medical personnel in various counties to go on strike, sometimes going for 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, thus creating a huge gap in terms of medical access in the counties. We also call upon the government, national government, and county governments to ensure that they allocate at least a minimum of 15% of their GDP to the health sector, so that they are in line with their budget declaration, which requires governments to allocate 15% to the health sector. If this one is done in Kenya, then the quality of service is likely to improve. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights acknowledges the steps that have been taken by the government of Kenya to enhance the right to quality education. However, a number of challenges still face this sector. One, the question of quality, where a number of schools and in other marginalized areas do not have adequate trained professional teachers to fit into this particular sector. And secondly, in terms of equity, again, there are quite a number of disparities that have been noted in the education sector. The funding model itself, especially in higher education, has caused a lot of anxiety among students and parents. There is a lack of clarity on the funding model that is agreeable to the masses, to the people of Kenya. And the Commission calls upon the government of Kenya to make sure that there is clarity in terms of the funding of the right to education, especially at the tertiary level, so that nobody is excluded from higher education and training because they cannot afford to pay their tuition fee and other related charges in order to access education. We also call upon the government to continuously employ teachers to fill the gaps where some of those schools that do not have adequate teachers have properly trained and qualified teachers to be able to handle the new system that is the CBC. Article 37 of the Constitution of Kenya provides the freedoms of association, freedom of expression. However, in recent years we have noted suppression of various voices, including those voices of the human rights defenders. We have observed, as a commission, disappearances of individuals within our republic. We have also noted with concern about this, the shrinking space where the human rights defenders cannot raise issues that are affecting the citizens at the grassroots. They face threats in various forms, and the Commission calls upon the government to ensure that Article 37, which provides Kenyans with the freedom of association, freedom of assembly, to ensure that any actions from the government is confined to the rule of law. We also herald the enactment of the Persons with Disabilities Act of 2025, which has given full and broad enjoyment of the rights by persons with disabilities in the Republic of Kenya. On that note, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights will continue to advocate for the ratification of the International Convention on the elimination of all forms of forced disappearances. And again, this is an area where the Commission has recorded quite disturbing statistics on those persons who have disappeared. On another note, the Commission also calls on the ratification of the second optional protocol on the International Covenant on Civil Political Rights, which aims to abolish the death penalty in Kenya, in line with the global trends in terms of the abolition of the death penalty. In line with Article 249, the government needs to provide adequate resources to oversight institutions, the constitutional commissions and independent offices, for them to be able to operate adequately. The government should put in place mechanisms where the voices, especially the voices of the young people, have space in our economy. Number 3, we call upon the county governments to ensure proper accountabilities on the resources they get to support devolution. Haki kwa wote, KILA, WAKATI.